Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 15. Jamaica is being strategically positioned as a globally competitive logistics hub and an efficient investment destination. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made that declaration on Tuesday as he opened the 8th staging of the World Free Zone Organization Annual International Conference and Exhibition, ACE. He says Jamaica, being ideally located at the intersection of the east-west and north-south trade routes and having the world's 7th largest natural harbor, are assets that will be leveraged to position the island as the 4th global logistics node, comparable to Singapore, Dubai, and Rotterdam.
Just last week at the Summit of the Americas in Los Angeles, I met with most of the world leaders of this hemisphere and heard from the Inter-American Development Bank how nearshoring and friendly shoring will attract more than $78 billion of new investments and exports, which will create more than 4 million direct jobs. Needless to say, Jamaica is actively positioning itself to take advantage of this new wave of investment projected for the region.
Prime Minister Holness adds that significant investments continue to be made in transportation, telecommunications, and human capital development to transform Jamaica into a globally competitive and efficient investment destination. The ACE conference is being held from June 13 to 17 at the Montego Bay Convention Center in Rose Hall, St. James. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says investors from the Middle East are showing interest in the country's tourism and travel industry, with some expected to visit the region in July to hold talks with business interests. He made the announcement while closing the sectoral debate in Parliament yesterday. The minister says the Middle East interests want to support not just Jamaica, but other Caribbean nations through investments. He says a special investment fund has already been set up for the Caribbean.
In the case of the Emirates, which is the largest and most significant of all the carriers of the Middle East, they not only gave the undertaking, but they actually, for the first time in our history, started to sell Destination Jamaica through their Emirates holidays so that people can buy direct flight to Jamaica from the Middle East and elsewhere.
With more than 40 investors from the Middle East expected to visit the Caribbean in early July, Minister Bartlett is urging Jamaicans to prepare their projects for engagement. The minister led a high-level tourism team in May to the United Kingdom, the United States, and Dubai to explore investment and airlift opportunities to strengthen travel to Jamaica. The National Diaspora Policy has been approved by Cabinet, and a plan of action to implement the strategies identified is currently being drafted. Following that announcement, details were shared by State Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Leslie Campbell, as he officially opened the 9th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference on Tuesday. He says the June 14 to 16 conference will serve as a forum to discuss key elements of the plan of action.
To be effective in these pursuits, we will need data in the order of access to reliable, regular, and updated statistics of the size, location, and demographic characteristics of diaspora members, for which technology will be critical.
Senator Campbell says the ministry will be collaborating with international partners to develop a digital portal and diaspora registration platform to collect data to facilitate evidence-based decision-making for diaspora engagement.
A feasibility study will also be developed in consultation with the diaspora on a Jamaican diaspora engagement model.
Asserting that government remains committed to harnessing the full potential of the Jamaica diaspora, he says the conference will focus on re-energizing and motivating members to be active partners during the post-COVID-19 era. Meanwhile, building a curriculum that solves global problems is among the suggestions for positioning the education sector to contribute to the digital transformation of Jamaica. The recommendation was made by Microsoft's Chief Digital Officer, Jackie Wright, as she gave the main address on day one of the Jamaica Diaspora Conference.
We're here about solving problems, and through solving those problems, we create competitiveness, value-added businesses, we innovate, we create economic development. all innovating around solving the world's problems.
Ms. Wright says education in the digital age will require a fit-for-purpose curriculum that caters to the skills needed for the future. It also includes forging partnerships with the private sector and conducting research to understand emerging themes. The National Blood Transfusion Service now has an additional blood collection center at the Spanish Town Hospital in St. Catherine. The center was opened on June 14, which is celebrated annually as World Blood Donor Day. As she opened the center, State Minister of Health and Wellness, Juliet Cuthbert-Flynn, reiterated the importance of blood donations.
Blood donors are the pulse of the global health community, and the universal need for regular voluntary donation is evident when we take the time just to look across the spectrum of our health facility. I want to take this opportunity to applaud those who advocate and encourage others to participate in the life-saving practice of giving blood.
The center will operate on Saturdays starting June 18. And finally, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport has decided to go ahead with this year's staging of the Jamaica 60 Festival Song Competition. Entries will now reopen for 1 week from June 14 to 21 to select 7 new songs. These will add to the 3 already identified by the selection panel from the previous 123 entries. The 10 finalists will vie for the national title on July 28. Portfolio Minister Olivia Grange made the disclosure during the opening ceremony of the Jamaica 60 Diaspora Conference.
I just want to say to the diaspora and to Jamaicans here at home that we will have a festival song competition and we will have quality entries. And I have been networking the industry to get good producers, good songwriters, and performers on board, so we can come up with 10 songs.
In addition to the staging of the competition, Jamaica 60 celebrations will include a commemorative album that will feature artists such as Shaggy, Agent Sasco, Coffee, and Omi, among others. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.